Welcome to the Growth Mode podcast, where real conversations fuel real business growth. Hosted by Nina Labbe, media strategist with Salem Surround. Get ready to listen, learn, and grow. This is Growth Mode.
Sometimes the most meaningful businesses don't begin with a business plan. They begin with a personal experience that changes the direction of an entire family. My guest today has a remarkable story that spans family, faith, entrepreneurship, and a passion for helping people live healthier lives. Dan Chapman is the founder of Redd Remedies, a natural health company rooted in a family journey that began decades ago when his mother's health challenges led his parents to start looking differently at food, nutrition, and herbs. What began as a desire to help one person eventually grew into serving an entire community and ultimately helping people across the country. But Dave's story goes well beyond business. His faith plays an important role in how he lives and leads. He also serves as executive chair of Bible League International, continuing a powerful family legacy of helping share God's word around the world. Today, we're going to talk about where it all began, what he's learned about health and entrepreneurship, how faith has shaped his leadership, and what it means to build a life and a business around purpose and service. Dan, welcome to the Growth Mode podcast and radio show. I am so glad you are with me today.
Oh, it's a good day to be here with you, for sure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah, so let's dig into this. Dave, you got to tell us, for those who may not be familiar with your story, can you tell us a little bit about your background and what ultimately, led you into the world of natural health and wellness?
Yeah, my story there starts with my mom. I had a wonderful mom, but she was pretty sick as a young lady. So in her mid-20s or so, as a young adult, I'll just say her body was just not playing nice with her. And so she started to experience really significant feelings of anxiety and just nervousness. And she had never felt feelings like this before. This is back in the 1950s, by the way. So this is way before most people were experiencing things like anxiety. It wasn't a normal thing to even talk about. And so she would, go to the doctor and just talk about the feelings that she's having. And it didn't really make sense to her. And oftentimes the different doctors that she would see would suggest that, you've just got a lot of stress going on. You need to take some time off. You need to slow down. And there was always a little bit of a connotation that this is just kind of really more in your head. And if you just let it quiet down, you're going to be okay. And those feelings were real for my mom. She was not making this up. She knew it was real. And over the course of a handful of years, and a variety of doctors, that anxiety feeling started, turning into fatigue because it's exhausting to live that way. That turned into feelings of depression a little bit. And my mom was a happy, life is good type of a person, but she just felt the weight of all of that. And my mom believed that there had to be a better way. There has to be an answer for this. And it isn't, I need a weekend off, And so that's really how it all started, is my mom, as a young lady who I'm so thankful was determined and knew that this is real. I'm not making this up, and there has to be an answer for this. And that's what really kind of just led her to one person after another. And ultimately, it was a dentist that talked to my mom about her diet. So again, think about 1950s. So changing your diet wasn't something we did. Everybody, quote unquote, ate pretty good in the 1950s. So this dentist suggested that my mom start a diet that we know today as an elimination diet. So just go back to very, very basic foods, eat the same thing, and start to journal how you're feeling. Yeah. And my mom thought, this is crazy. There's no way this is going to do anything.
And that was such wisdom.
Right? So she was willing to do anything that she thought. And this dentist was so passionate about this. So my mom starts this diet just thinking, okay, it's one more thing on the list I can check off that probably won't work, but at least I move on to my next answer, And within the week, my mom started to feel dramatically different. And it was shocking to her. It was the first time in her life as a young lady that she made this really solid connection between, okay, what I put in my mouth is going to impact me right now today. And that was like a new discovery. And it led my mom to dive in to learn everything she could about food, how it's grown and harvested and processed. That's, of course, when we were starting to use more herbicides and pesticides in the United States. Yeah. And so she was fascinated by this. She starts to feel better. It's a long road for my mom. It's not just, okay, now a month later, she's better. Like there was a lot going on deep down in her body. So it was years in the making to be this beautiful, healthy woman that I knew as a mom. My mom had me. She was 40 years old because she couldn't have children either. So she got pregnant at 40. And so I came along a little later in life and grew up with a mom who was really passionate about food and herbs and nutrition.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I can see how that, really inspired, your family's journey, with your mother, facing those health challenges. And then I read that you said it was the dentist, not the chiropractor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that really changed the course, of your family's future. Yeah. And then what started as, learning about, food and herbs, eventually became sharing that, knowledge with others. And then opening a neighborhood grocery store. Did your parents ever imagine that one decision would impact so many lives?
No, not at all. They decided to open a little health food store on the south side of Chicago. And their purpose for doing this was it was really hard at that time to find food that was not sprayed with chemicals. So there wasn't organic food back in the 50s and 60s. Yeah. So my mom was searching all over for food that was not sprayed with herbicides and pesticides because she found that when she ate food that way, even as simple as an apple or a salad, that would trigger this feeling in her. So it was almost a job for her to find food that she and her husband at that time And so my mom at that time had also met so many more people that she's helping to feel better. So they opened this little health food store with the whole idea of feeding their family and their friends. And they prayed about it and they said, all right, Lord, we're going to do it for 1 year. That's our commitment. And if this is something you want us to do, then you're going to have to make it successful and tell us if you want us to go more than a year. Yeah. And that was 1961. This year, my family's health food store, Sunrise Health Food, south side of Chicago, celebrating 65 years.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
What a blessing that really small start was for my family and I.
Oh, what a great story. What a great story. Bringing, because now it's multiple grocery stores, right?
Yeah, we have 5 locations, South Chicago, Northwest Indiana.
I love that. And then you went on to found Redd Remedies. At what point did you realize, there was an opportunity to help even more people, through nutritional supplements?
Yeah, I had, while we are at Sunrise, like a small grocery store. I had really always loved herbs and the study of herbs. And so I was spending a lot of time kind of on that side of what we're doing and helping customers. And one of the frustrations that I had, and this is 20 years ago when I started Redd Remedies, and it's still very true today, is that much of our natural food industry, if you will, as it was growing, was changing. When I was young in the health food store, everybody that showed up with products were people that were really passionate about helping other individuals because they all had personal stories. Mm-hmm. And of course, as a business grows, there's a lot more money involved, and it seems like a lot of the supplement companies were very marketing driven. And it was very frustrating to me. Mm-hmm. So most of the new products being shown to me, I felt like were some level of garbage and not mm-hmm. going to be really effective. Yeah. So I started putting formulas together mm-hmm. because I also knew that it's difficult for the average person to know, okay, here's one, I'll take the magnesium over here, and then I'll take this herb, and then I'll take this amino acid and this vitamin.
Yeah, it's a lot to figure out.
At Redd Remedies, we've got about 30 herbal formulas, and all of our products are formulas designed specifically to solve a health issue. So they're targeted products. We talked before the show started about our adult sinus product to help mm-hmm. people with, allergies and that type of thing. And we have a children's version of that. So everything is a formula. So you don't have to put it all together. We do it for you. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. You took the guesswork out.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah. And that's the thing, there are thousands of supplements, on the market today. You walk in the aisle, people, you get overwhelmed and you don't know, what to begin. Can you elaborate a little bit more about how you formulate your products? I know you mentioned, you have the unnecessary fillers and you work alongside a master herbalist.
Absolutely. So Stacy Littlefield has a master's degree in herbal medicine. So it's not like a weekend course to become an herbalist, literally a master's degree in herbal medicine. Stacy has worked with me at Redd Remedies since I started the company. And we've come at our formulation process starting at the body. Most people will look at an herb and say, here's all the 20 things it does, so sell it for everything. But I need to start with what's wrong with you, like what's going on in your body. Mm-hmm. And I have this belief that mm-hmm. God designed a body to be in balance and mm-hmm. healthy, high functioning and healthy. And I also believe that when we feed the body properly, the body will do what God created it to do. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we do with our formulas is I don't use stimulating or pushing herbs. Mm-hmm. You can actually push and stimulate the body sometimes. Mm-hmm. What we do is we nourish the body. So we feed it, and then we kind of step back and we strengthen the systems and mm-hmm. then ultimately work to restore balance. So we call it an NSR protocol that we've been working on for, 25 years now. Yeah. And so our formulas are going to nourish, strengthen, and restore, which essentially allows your body to mm-hmm. come back into balance and high function, whether that's in balance with allergies or in balance because my joint hurts or mm-hmm. in balance because my energy is low or in balance because I can't sleep well at night. Mm-hmm. We've got formulas designed for those specific issues to nourish, strengthen, and restore so your body can do what it was created to do.
Right. Yeah. I love that. What advice, would you give to someone who's just beginning like their wellness journey?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, the foundation of what I do. So the first product that I made is called Energy. True Energy is still my favorite product.
Yeah. We can all use more energy.
Yes. And so not stimulants. We don't need caffeine. We don't need to push our body, but energy the way we're supposed to feel. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes I say, do we remember that one day where we woke up before the alarm went off and we're like, wow, I feel pretty good. I'm going to get out of bed. And we had good energy all day. And at the end of the day, we were tired and we laid down in bed and we fell asleep. Like that's what life is supposed to be like. Mm-hmm. And so True Energy is supposed to help you have those days every day. And ultimately, that's where I would start with people. And mm-hmm. the reason that product is going to work so well is it is nourishing your adrenals, your thyroid, and your liver. Mm-hmm. And then I use adaptogen herbs, rhodiola, and Asian ginseng that are going to help with energy, strength, stamina, focus, clarity. So it's a formula that is helping your body in all of its function do exactly what it's supposed to do each day. And it's an easy product to use, 2 capsules a day. I take them when I first wake up in the morning, and it provides high-level, stable energy throughout the day. And what that formula is going to do is also going to help ensure that we have a good, healthy, balanced life throughout our entire lifetime. So there's a study that was just done a couple of years ago that showed that the average individual in the world, so this is a multi-country study, about 50 different countries, and it showed that the average individual is sick, like chronically sick, for the last 10 years of their life. So we call it that. So we have 10 years of sickness at the end of our life. Now, I'll tell you what, I don't want that to be me. In the United States, the average is 12.4 years of chronic disease at the end of your life.
Gosh.
So ultimately, if we can help with the little issues today, we're going to ensure that last 10 years is a good 10 years.
Exactly.
So I want health for my whole lifetime. And believe it or not, true energy, because we're going to nourish adrenal, thyroid, and liver function and use these adaptogens. It helps you feel good today, but also ensures that we don't have a cascading effect of disease towards the end of our life.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of the things that I really appreciate about your approach is that you focus on helping people make healthier choices, you know, rather than just chasing the quick fixes. You know, what are some simple habits that you believe, can make the biggest difference in someone's overall health?
Yeah, good. Yeah, so we can actually all do some very simple things. One of my habits, and I've been doing this literally since I was a little boy, this one of the things that my mom always told me to do is I would go to bed with a glass of water on my nightstand. So when I woke up in the morning, I drank a glass of water. It's the first thing I put in my body when I sit up in the morning is a glass of water. And that water then is room temperature. So I don't want ice water in the morning. That kind of shocks the body internally. Yeah. But that is actually it wakes the body up. It wakes up the digestive system, kind of gets the lymphatic system moving so we can start a good day. So that's a really simple thing that we can all do.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
In my background here, there's actually a little trampoline in my office, a little rebounder.
Yeah, so I see that.
I spend too much time on a computer screen. And so I'll get up and just kind of jump on that a little bit. It gets my body, and again, the lymphatic system moving throughout the day. So those are just some simple, and you don't need a trampoline to do it. You can just get up and hop a little bit.
Yeah.
So those are some things that we can do super easy. They cost nothing.
Right. Gosh, great tips. And you're right. I mean, it's such an important reminder, that, even in the little things, we can take care, of our health in little ways, and it's just about becoming more intentional, with the choices that we make every day. All right. So shifting gears just a little bit, you've built a successful business while staying true to your values. How has your faith influenced the way you lead and make decisions and serve others?
Well, yeah, my faith in Jesus, it's everything. So it impacts my whole life, not just a segment of it. I have known and loved the Lord since I've been young, and I'm really grateful for that. I've always been the type of person who I love it when I can help another person. I don't know, that's just always been a little bit wired in me, even, working in my mom's health food store as a young boy. And when I could help somebody find what they're looking for or solve a little issue that they were having health-wise, it just kind of lit me up. And so my wife and I both have kind of decided when we got married that we would be the type of people who we would say yes to things when people asked, unless there was really good reason to say no.
Yeah.
So we tend to be doers and people that help. And I honestly, I love that. And that's part of what I get to do with my family's health food stores. It's what I get to do at Redd Remedies, specifically to health. And I get filled up by that every day. I think that God wants all of us to be healthy so that we can go and serve others. And I recognize there's a lot of individuals who don't feel good. And when you don't, you do need to take a moment to take care of yourself. But again, the end reason for taking care of yourself is so that you can serve others, whether it's a spouse or, playing with your kids or being with friends. So I love it when I get an opportunity to help an individual realize that they don't have to feel that way. That pain, that fatigue, that allergy, whatever, that we don't have to live that way. We can actually feel really good every day. And we just need to sometimes get a little bit of nourishment, strengthening, and restoring.
I love that servant heart, mentality. Your grandfather founded Bible League International, and today you serve as executive chair of the board. What has it meant, to continue that legacy while, also leading your own businesses?
Well, that has honestly been probably the biggest honor of my life, to follow in my grandfather's footsteps, and actually my dad's as well. My dad followed in his dad's footsteps, and so I'm a third generation there, leading that organization. And essentially what Bible League International does is we serve the under-resourced, or read poor, church globally. So we're active in about 50 countries around the world, and we come alongside the local church and we train them how to go out and reach their community. So we provide training and then the resources, so Bibles and Bible study materials. And essentially we help local churches around the world grow and expand. That is our whole ministry. We call that program Project Philip, to put some names behind it, but essentially we are helping the local poor church reach their community for the gospel. Really no different than all of us should be doing in our own lives, is, finding a neighbor and inviting him into a Bible study. That's essentially the context. And, my grandfather made a living in real estate. And then it started Bible League and never went to work for the organization. So for my grandfather's entire life, he was a volunteer and a donor to the organization he started. My dad did the same thing, and I'm blessed to do the same. I don't work at Bible League. I'm a volunteer, chairman of the board, and then I donate money. If you could sit down with your parents today, what do you think would make them most proud of the legacy that they've left behind? Yeah, there's so many things. I think I had just really a remarkable mom and dad, grandma and grandpa. I really did, and I am so grateful to be able to have followed kind of in their footsteps. I think they would be pretty proud that Sunrise Health Foods is not one small health food store today, but we're 5 good size health food grocery stores. And I know my mom would be really proud of what we've done at Redd Remedies. My mom was alive and helped with the first 5 formulas. My mom was a certified clinical nutritionist. And along with our master herbalist and myself and a team, she helped with the first 5 formulas, and then she went to be with the Lord. And so she lived a wonderful, beautiful life, but I think she'd be pretty excited for, what we've done today.
Yeah, they left a beautiful legacy. And now I want to turn the question around now and ask you about your own legacy. You spent, your life helping people, through nutrition, business, and ministry. When you look back, one day, what do you hope people remember most about your life?
Well, hopefully what they remember is I love and care for people. And I suppose what I'm praying for the most is just my children. I've got 3 children, and they all love the Lord as well. My middle son is working at Sunrise Health Foods post-college here, and would like to do that for a living. And so that excites me that we have a 3rd generation there. And so to me, it's not about the business. It is the business allows us to do the real work, which is serving in our church and serving at Bible League and being a good family member, a good spouse, a good friend in the community. So
I love that. Growth mode is all about, helping people grow personally, professionally, and purposefully. What advice would you give someone who wants to build a business, that not only succeeds financially, but also leaves a lasting impact on others?
I think probably the biggest thing that I've learned over the years is, I like to be active. I like to go out and do things. And so, I kind of do. And then when I'm done doing, I rest because I'm tired. Right. And I think we have that backwards. If you look at scripture, and I've spent a lot of time on this in the last 5 years or so, is just looking at scripture. So you can even read in the beginning of Genesis when God was creating the world, it says there was evening and then there was morning. And I don't know about you, but in my day, I feel like my day starts when I wake up and I work and then I go to bed. And that's backwards.
Yeah.
When God created the earth, there was nighttime. We're supposed to rest. And then out of that rest, we can do. And that was also consistent if you look at Jesus's life here on earth.
That's right.
Regularly, he would rest. He was not in a hurry. So often we're in a hurry today. We need to slow down. God is right on time. We need to rest in him, and out of that rest and that strength in him, then we can go do. And so I'm speaking to myself again.
Yeah, great advice.
The message that I keep saying to myself, Dan, okay, rest, spend time with God, spend time in his word, spend time in prayer. And then out of that strength, then I can go do. Yeah. And that's my advice. It's like, we're in a hurry, slow down.
Yeah, that's wonderful advice.
And then go do.
Yeah, absolutely. We're almost out of time. If someone would like to learn more about Redd Remedies, your products, or simply begin their journey toward better health, what's the best way to connect with you?
Yeah, so you can just go to reddremedies.com, or you follow us on all of the social channels. You'll see us there. You can look at BibleLeague.org if you want information on Bible League. And that's probably the best way to connect with me, is just through Redd Remedies specifically, but also take a look at Bible League and see the work that's happening there. It's exciting work.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Dan, thank you so much for joining me today. What a pleasure. And what really resonates with me about your story is how one family's desire to find a better way ultimately became a legacy of helping others through health, through business, and through faith. And I think there's an important lesson in that, for all of us. Success isn't only measured by what we build, it's also measured by who we help and what we leave behind. Thank you so much for sharing your family's story, your wisdom, and your faith so openly with us today. If you would like to learn more about Dave and Redd Remedies, their approach to natural health, or explore their products and resources, visit reddremedies.com. And Dave, I believe you had a promo code for us.
Yes, Growth Mode will get your listeners 25% off any of our products. You can also, if you want to do a subscription, then you'll lock that 25% in on that product in future orders as well. So Growth Mode as one, so no space. Growth Mode gets you 25% off.
So generous. Thank you for that. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please give it a like, a comment, and subscribe so you never miss another conversation designed to help you grow personally, professionally, and purposefully. And if you're a business owner or a marketing leader looking to get found and get heard, I'd love to help. Our Get Found, Get Heard package combines organic SEO with targeted radio to help businesses increase visibility, build trust, and generate meaningful results. You can reach me anytime at Growth Mode at salemsurround.com, or you can call me at 210-526-3626. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and stay in growth mode.
Thanks for listening to the Growth Mode podcast with Nina Labbe. Stay connected, keep learning, and keep growing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you next time on Growth Mode. Want to grow your business online and on the air? Right now, when you sign up for a 6-month organic SEO campaign at $3,100 a month, we'll include a free radio schedule, 1 week per month for 6 months to help kickstart your visibility. That's a $5,000 value in radio advertising, designed to drive awareness and leads from day one. Don't miss it. Email Nina Labbe at growthmode@salemsurround.com or call 210-526-3626 to learn more.